Kira,
and you're watching
Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So this is a pretty interesting development right here. Now, if you guys didn't know, last week, Oscar De La Hoya and Bob Arum, they met up in person. Bob Arum, he actually invited Oscar De La Hoya over to his house to talk about some potential fights that could be made this year. And one of the fights that was discussed was Terence Crawford versus Virgil Ortiz for 2021 this year. Now, I'm telling you guys right now, if this fight goes down, this will be a huge fight this year. For sure, this will be a huge fight. Remember, this is the fighter, when it comes to Virgil Ortiz, this is the guy that Oscar De La Hoya, he put over Ryan Garcia. When a reporter was interviewing Oscar and he was basically trying to coach Oscar into saying that Ryan Garcia is the future of boxing, like he's the next big star, Oscar De La Hoya basically said that Ryan is good and, you know, he has a big following on Instagram. And then he said, but Virgil Ortiz is the real deal. So a statement like that just goes to show you how much confidence Oscar has in Ortiz's skill set. Now, Ortiz, he does have a fight already lined up against Maurice Hooker, but that should be a very, very easy fight for him because Maurice Hooker is already coming off of a knockout loss. His second to last fight, he got KO'd or TKO'd by Jose Ramirez. And he's just coming off of a win against a guy who's like 19-4. Maurice Hooker, he lacks defense and has a suspect chin. And you put those two together, and that spells easy KO for Virgil Ortiz. And that's the reason why, honestly, I don't even feel this is a big step up in competition for Ortiz. I think, you know, at the point that he's at right now, it would have been a better step up if he was going up against another undefeated fighter, because there's other undefeated fighters out there calling him out. I mean, it wasn't too long ago that Jaron Ennis was talking about having a very hard time getting guys in the ring. He didn't want to mention the names, but he said it was a lot of undefeated prospects that turned down fights to face him. And it just makes you wonder if Virgil Ortiz was one of those names. So even though Maurice Hooker is not a real big step up in competition, however, he does have a good name and race sells in the sport of boxing. I mean, you'll always hear fans say the biggest rivalry in the sport of boxing is Mexico versus Puerto Rico or something like that. But the truth is, the biggest rivalries in the sport of boxing are black fighters versus anyone who's not black. And this is the reason why the comments are often so racially divided. So boxing fans seeing Virgil Ortiz knock out a black fighter like Maurice Hooker, that's actually going to help really promote the Terence Crawford versus Virgil Ortiz fight. And guys, look, just to prove my point, when I tell you that race sells, I remember covering Gennady Golovkin versus Willie Monroe and Golovkin versus Dominic Wade. And I'm telling you, man, the atmosphere was so electric in the arena. You would have thought Golovkin was going up against Floyd Mayweather. You would have thought he was going up against Sugar Ray Leonard or Andre Ward. But he wasn't. He was going up against Willie Monroe and Dominic Wade. So Ortiz knocking out Hooker will get him a lot of exposure. And it will really, really build up the Crawford fight if it comes to fruition. Now, when it comes to Terence Crawford, it's starting to look like for the first time he may have better options than Errol Spence does. Because it's also just recently been reported that Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford are back in negotiations. Now, and I know this almost sounds too good to be true, but just imagine if Terence Crawford fought Manny Pacquiao and Virgil Ortiz in the same year. Boy, would that be a huge year for Terence Crawford and boxing fans as well. But let's just hope for now we get at least one of those fights this year. It comes to Virgil Ortiz and Ryan Garcia by way of contrast, since they're stablemates of Golden Boy. Do you know how much better this will make Ortiz look if he takes that dangerous fight that Ryan Garcia was promising that he was going to take and didn't take against Gervonta Tank Davis? This will further prove, as Oscar De La Hoya put it, that Virgil Ortiz is the real deal. Now, when it comes to Ryan Garcia, this is an easy fix. He can still save face by fighting Tank Davis this year. He will only look bad if he doesn't fight him this year at all. And then when it comes to the Pacquiao negotiations, I truly believe that Manny is serious about taking this fight because, once again, I think they're showing him the money. Now, I don't feel that this was his first option. Well, we know it wasn't his first option because his first option was Conor McGregor. Then when Conor McGregor got knocked out, his second option was Ryan Garcia. When negotiations fell apart for that fight, that left Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. And I don't know why Manny Pacquiao would choose Terence Crawford or choose to even negotiate a Crawford fight over an Errol Spence fight. Because at least as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to Errol Spence, it seems like maybe Manny Pacquiao has at least a 30 to 40% chance of winning the fight. But I feel when it comes to Terence Crawford, he has about a 5 to 10% chance of winning that fight because of Crawford's versatility. And on top of that, we haven't heard Manny Pacquiao talk about any of the flaws that he believes Crawford has, but he did talk about flaws that he believes Errol Spence has. He said that he was too slow. And to really add insult to injury, he compared Errol Spence to Keith Thurman, to the fight he had with Keith Thurman. So no one really knows what Manny Pacquiao is thinking right now. No one knows if he's really serious about fighting Terence Crawford, but we should find out soon. We should find out really soon. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. Listen, I'm telling you guys right now, in the world that we live in today, one of the most important things in life to have is a good lawyer. And I can vouch for this one right here because this brother is my personal lawyer. So if you need any type of legal representation, if you need legal advice, if you're having problems on YouTube, on your regular job, or whatever it is, contact lawyer, mediator, and business consultant Issa Israel's law firm. I've been knowing this man for a while, and he has been a true blessing to me. I'm telling you, he's affordable, he will work with you, but most importantly, he's not gonna just treat you like a customer. He will have your best interest. So to get in contact with him, go to iilawfirm.com or consultsglobal.com. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Decay Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodecay.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. So to get this hookup, make sure you follow and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram.